I think that generally in my last books, Israel is appearing in its realistic form, but always there is another dimension, and the other dimension here is coming by Africa. The fact that the book is divided between Africa and Israel give also to Israel another dimension that is not too much realistic, because Africa is coming here as the place in which Jeremy is detaching himself. The narrative is divided between husband and wife. All the book is telling about 1 week in which husband and wife are separating. She is going to Africa to see her brother-in-law after the death of her sister. By putting 2 tracks of narration without any relationship between them, but the fact that this is a husband and wife, I could create another track, imaginary track, between the 2 tracks, in which the reader is doing references from one track to another. He can take some images from what is happening to Daniela in Africa to what is happening to her husband in Israel. Daniela coming to talk about her sister, but he doesn't want to talk too much about his sister, but he wants to talk about his son. His son was killed by a friendly fire. When the son is killed on the battlefield, it's very painful, but still it has meaning. But when the son is killed by friendly fire, it is without meaning, and it's stupidity, and you feel more painful about it. So in this sense, he is becoming a little bit pessimist about the identity itself. Not about Israel, not about the peace process, but he's tired. He doesn't want to hear again about the Holocaust, about the history of the Jews. You have to understand, we are a people that is in conflict for 2,000 years. So it is a constant conflict, a constant atmosphere of conflict. And he said to himself, I want a break from the Jewish people. He goes to Africa, he exploits the situation in which he is in Africa to say Africa is a place without any Jewish sign, without any Jewish memory, because the Jews were not in Africa. So this is a place in which I can do the jobs that I'm doing without all the time being hunted by the Jews. This escapism. Meaning, not so pessimism, but I don't want to deal with politics. I don't want to speak about the peace process. I don't want to speak about the Palestinians, about the occupation. We want to do our life, and that's it. And this feeling of escapism, of detachment, is a general feeling in Israel today. I think that the Palestinians are also tired. But this cannot solve the problem. The problem is to do peace. Everyone knows the formula of peace, but the 2 sides are afraid of doing it. The next step is Obama. If Obama is serious, America is a real friend of Israel, and they have the authority and the moral legitimacy to say to Israel and to the Palestinians, come to term. And the term is 2-state solution, the frontier of 67, Jerusalem divided into 2 capitals, security measure and security conditions in the West Bank in order that it will not be repeated like what was happening in Gaza, that we pull out from Gaza and they started to shoot on us. And when we will finish the question of the Palestinians, there will be also an end to the Iran. Because the Palestinians are saying to Iran, take your hand from our problem, it's not your problem. Why you are threatening? If you will throw an atomic bomb on Israel, we will be also the victims, so leave us alone. The Jews are free, and they have the tradition of the prophets. And the prophets were all the time criticizing the kings and the government. So we have a tradition of hearing criticism. And from this point of view, I have to say that me and my friends and other intellectuals, when we were speaking, the public listened to us and give us respect. And of course, they did not agree with us. They say we are naive, we don't understand. But never there was a discrimination against us. This is to the honor of Israel. All the channels of communication were open to us. There is a lot of things that are coming. There are some that are junk, some are good things. There was now a bestseller coming from Italy. It was translated into Hebrew. I took it, I read 20 pages and I threw away. It's nothing, it's totally empty. So you cannot be misled also by the numbers of millions of copies that had been bought here. Coelho, for example, your writer, I could not read 3 pages of him either, okay. But for example, we read the literature of Spector, of Clarissa Spector, and I find something special, really something good. A very high literary work. Yeah. And you didn't expect. Again, there was a small book of short stories coming from Brazil. We didn't know anything, and then we were astonished.